great point right there. That's David Morris, QB country, running this workout for Bo, snapping him the ball, and he gets that first one out there quick. And, Mark, I am kind of curious from your perspective, having been in NFL front offices like DJ here, how the league, do you think, views that experience for Knicks? Because we've seen players, albeit ones, that were drafted lower than where Knicks is expected to go, really kind of have a benefit earlier in their career from that expanded, catalog of starts like, Brock Purdy, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Aiden O'Connell and company. So how do you think those 61 starts play for Knicks?
Well, definitely coaches love guys with experience. Scouts look for that. There's been definitely a lot of studies that show X amount of starts equals X amount of wins in the NFL. But, getting back to the production and the playing time, the coaches love that security and the guy that knows what he's doing. And as DJ mentioned, it seems like we've been watching Bo Nix for 10 years now. I mean, and he started as a freshman in 2019 at Auburn, and we really have been almost watching him that long. And that's something to be said, that he jumped in there, was supposed to be the next big thing after Cam and all that. Didn't play out, but now he's resurrected his career, second chance, become highly productive. So the total body of work, coaches are going to feel really comfortable with that. And also, this guy's a son of a coach. He played for his dad in high school. So coaches love that too. And a quarterback in particular, coaches' sons, they feel like this guy can jump in there right away. He's going to know the offense. He's going to be able to dial it all up. We don't have to worry about those things. Now, whether he's good enough, he has to show that. But as far as handling the game mentally, I think there's a lot of confidence in Bo Nix from the NFL circles with coaches and scouting staff to say, yep, he can do it.
Hey, DJ, we've seen a lot of Bo, right, in this run-up to the draft thus far, going back to Mobile, where you did a real nice job at the Senior Bowl down there, and then, going to the Combine. He was one of that kind of upper-tier group of quarterbacks like Michael Penix and J.J. McCarthy to get out there and again throw, for NFL evaluators. What would you really want to see from him in this setting at a pro day?
Well, Look, again, I think I've had a chance to see everything you need to see. Yeah. I think he has enough arm. I don't think he has a overpowering huge arm. We saw that next to Penix. Like, Penix is a little more versatile. But he has enough to make every type of throw that you're going to be asked to make at the next level. I was just kind of chuckling to myself a second ago. We had his stats rolling across the bottom of the screen. Like, just how ridiculous that looks. The numbers that he posted this season at Oregon. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And Mark was talking about his, starting his career at Auburn. That first game, he played against Justin Herbert. It was against Justin Herbert in Oregon. Like, think about Justin Herbert. Feels like he's been in the NFL forever. He's already got his second contract.
Knicks beat him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I love the fact he went through some adversity there at Auburn. He got better each and every year throughout his college career, culminating in the numbers you see on the screen right there, and won a ton of games. So what I'm looking for in this workout, Rhett, I guess confirmation of what you've seen on the tape, which is someone he's got some life in his lower half. He's someone who's really, really accurate, especially underneath intermediate. Maybe some of these deep balls you can crank out as he puts one on the money there. But Mark, I don't know that, I don't know that he has questions that need to be answered. I think you have a very clear picture of who he is. DJ
Rhett, the bar is low for Bo Nix today. Just don't be the first quarterback in pro day history to mess it up. Just don't do that. He's, these guys are so drilled with this right now. They have got these quarterback rules that they work with their receivers now. It's not like back in the day where it was a little bit more of a, hey, get out there and just throw. They've been practicing that just like they practice their combine drill. So really right now for these quarterbacks, when they get into this situation, it's just a repetitive thing that they're just not going through the motions, but it's just so easy and on time for them to do this. So, with him, I always like to look at going back to Auburn again, and with quarterbacks, it wasn't really the physical stuff. It was how they reacted and how they led their teammates. And the first big lesson I learned for this was with Cam Newton. And you guys remember there's a lot of questions about Cam Newton and whether he was a leader and whether people like Cam. Well, we went to the pro day there at Auburn, which lasted about 8 hours because it was kind of ESPN showing it. And Cam, when you saw everybody gravitate around Cam, his teammates, the support staff, and everybody, you're like, yeah, this guy actually, they love this guy. And he is the guy that's in charge. And those are the things I love to look for in pro days more so than this physical stuff because that's so drilled into them. It's the intangibles that you can't really put a hold on, even though you got people telling you Bo Nix is a great guy. When you actually see it and feel it, it's a big difference there, and I learned that mostly from Cam.
Well, and I'd say, Mark, that teams also got a feel for what kind of competitor and what kind of leader Bo Nix was down in Mobile in a setting, that's as close to, a practice-type team-like setting as you'll get in a run-up to the draft out at the Senior Bowl. And, go ahead.
And to Bo Nix's credit, look, Caleb Williams he's a top guy. He's going to pick and choose what he wants to do. Jaden Daniels, to that extent, can pick and choose. Drake May, those guys can pick and choose what they want to do. Whereas Bo Nix and Penix, JJ McCarthy, different situations where they've got to elevate themselves. Those guys are at the top.
They want to be number 4.
Yes, they don't have to really. These guys are trying to get up. So they're competing because they know they can separate themselves from that next tier or even get into that first tier. So you got to give it to them that they're doing that at every step of the way.
Boy, I don't mind, DJ, by the way, in all of our pro days that we've done together, dozens, it feels like, multiple dozens. And we'll have another one coming up, the first one that we'll have full coverage of coming up on March 20th with Caleb Williams at USC. I think people will be pretty interested in that one, as it's the first time we'll have seen him throw since his final attempt at USC. But, when it comes to Bo Nix and I don't mind jumping into these workouts when they start throwing the deep shots. Like we get the hitches, we get the slants, we started early, but I don't mind seeing it, drop a couple of deep shots in here straight away, because that is one of the things, right, that we do talk about with Bo. A lot of that offense and a lot of what he was asked to do was a little bit shorter, right, than some of the guys who were pushing the ball down the field, like Mike Penix.
Yeah, the funny thing is when you talk to some coaches around the league, they're like, hey, have you seen how we have to play offense in this league right now? Go look at Patrick Mahomes and look at the number of underneath throws he makes. I think he makes more than anybody else in the league in terms of at 5 yards or within 5 yards, because you're seeing so much of this shell coverage. They're trying to take away those explosives. So, being efficient and accurate underneath is not the worst thing in the world. And then being able to pay it off occasionally with some of these deeper balls over the top and down the field. But I don't think that's viewed as maybe quite the negative in the scouting world, in the personnel world, as it's deemed in the media, Mark.
Yeah, I agree with you there, DJ. I liken it more so. I try to compare football stuff to basketball stuff because everybody thinks they can play basketball. So it's a little bit, you just pick it up and play, where you got to hit your layups and free throws if you're a quarterback. Hit all the easy stuff for sure, and then show you can hit three-pointers with somebody in your face, or you can beat somebody off the dribble to make a play. And to me, that's what NFL quarterbacking is now. Yep, you got to hit your layups, free throws, hit all of those. All right, now when things get messy, then what can I do? And for Bo Nix and that Oregon offense, it was that a lot of layups, a lot of free throws, but he showed the ability to sort of hit some people off the dribble and hit some threes with a hand in his face.
Another off-platform, on the money right there from Bo Nix, kind of simulated rush, right? Just trying to get that ball out and down the field, and took care of business on that throw. And